Hey everyone, it's Christine here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this series on trust and developing your psychic abilities and intuition. And so for this week, we've talked a lot in the previous videos about awareness, about our feelings to our physical body and our emotions, creating a practice, and also taking action steps. I think I'm forgetting something and I'm trying to remember. And today I wanted to talk about continuing this documentation, this process of whether you call it writing or journaling, especially as you start expanding the different sensory inputs that you experience or you engage with. And so I highly recommend getting a notebook, a journal of some sort, where you can keep track of your spiritual development, particularly as it pertains to your psychic development and intuition, and really take time to jot down any weird sensations you get, any feelings, smells, synchronicities, premonitions, dreams, signs, and really ask yourself, like we did during that week on taking micro action, really continue to ask yourself the questions first before asking others and see what comes up for you. Sit with it. Really think about what something means to you, because I remember, and I'm giving you an example. I recently was taking my dogs out for a walk a few weeks ago, and I kept seeing frogs everywhere. I'm like, what's going on? I mean, sometimes you'll see them, but this was just blatant, and it was the same type of looking frog and the same spot, but it wasn't the same frog, because I would look at it and I want to play with it. And I sat with myself when I got back in. I'm like, what does this mean? And I realized, for me, frogs are transformative. I got that energy right away, because many of them can survive in different types of environments. I got that they are resilient. They're also abundant because they multiply pretty quickly. I got fertility because I just started sitting in quiet and listing everything that I got, and I realized, wow, these are big messages for me. I feel like it was in terms of expansion of career, perhaps prosperity and finances. And so I say that only to help you reframe things that you may be seeing in your everyday life, whether you find a coin or a feather. Continue to document these things. Don't let them go. And especially when you start getting messages, a lot of people I find, because as you continue this process, you will find that you're getting intuitive hits. I call them nudges, and just feeling sensations, and however your gifts come through depending on your clairs. And a lot of times I find that people dismiss them. People don't believe them. They're like, this is weird. Document it. There's a reason. I remember in one reading I did, I kept getting something about a specific flower. I'm like, why the hell is this flower coming up to me? You know? Sometimes in Reiki sessions that I do, because I do intuitive Reiki as well, I'll get fruits, and I'm like, why am I getting a fruit? And it could have a relation, like a specific meaning to the person, and it usually does. And so don't discount what you're feeling. I know it's easier said than done, but when you start accepting what it is you're feeling, because when we accept, we're not judging it. We don't have to agree with it. We don't have to believe it at that moment and be like, okay, I 100% agree that whatever it is that I'm receiving, it makes sense. No, we don't. We can just accept the information that we're receiving. But over time, you're going to find that things that you're receiving, there is a clear message behind them. There is accuracy in what you're getting, and that is going to help you start to continuously trust yourself. So again, I want to say that this is something that is a work in progress. It's not like you're going to go from 0 to 100 and by the end of the month you're going to be like, I trust myself. But it helps too when you can engage in practices that reinforce this. Because when we also keep track of our own journey, of our own psychic abilities, and we're able to document these over time, and then we look back, we realize how far we've come, how much work we've gotten done, and we've done, and also how much our own abilities have grown. And without that documentation, that's the practical earthly side, without that documentation, we can't really see it. And we don't know that particular timeline. And I think it's also important because it allows us to continuously have some type of measure and progress, I should say, along the way. Because there are going to be times when you're frustrated, when you feel blocked. I know during times of Mercury retrograde, my abilities almost feel clogged up, blocked. And I have to take concerted efforts to really manage my energy to make sure that I am able to channel and receive messages. And so anyways, all of this is to say, take into account everything that you receive, that you feel, that you sense, that you see, you watch, you hear, whatever it is, and really hang out with that a while, marinate in that for yourself, and really focus on what it is that you get when you see these things or when you have a question to pose. Because this particular practice it's going to continuously help you reinforce and continuously nurture and strengthen your own psychic abilities. Again, if there are any other topics you want to see surrounding this, anything else about the different clairs, any other comments, tools to use, let me know. I was thinking of actually continuing this by examining other tools to strengthen your psychic abilities. Pictures are one, sometimes holding artifacts. Sometimes people look at fires or water where they scry to get information. The same with candles and candle wax when you do certain spells or rituals. Bibliomancy, where you look at books and open them and look at specific passages. There's so many different ways people can tap into different tools and different modalities. The same with tarot decks, I should say, oracle cards, pendulums, coins. Any of those can help you continuously practice your different clairs. So if you're interested, let me know. I'd be happy to do more videos on this, but I will continuously add more to the series, but I really wanted to get this up. I feel it's really important because I'm strongly sensing many of you have awakened recently, and there are going to be more, and it's so important that we start to trust ourselves and not entities, organizations, and people around us. And I'm not saying you can't always go to others and that you can't trust people, because of course we need to find people that we trust that can hold safe containers for us. But it's most important that the relationship you have with yourself is the one that induces this trust, that really reinforces this, because you yourself are going to have the longest relationship with yourself, I should say, than with anyone else. And so if you can trust yourself, you know that you can move forward in life making decisions from your own heart center, from your own guidance, from your own connection to the divine, to God, to your spiritual team. Is this done? No, it's not done. Again, I want to reinforce and restate that this is a work in progress. This is an iterative process. You're going to continuously build upon the work that you put in each week. And I recommend you can do this every day, every week, but it's only going to help you cultivate and strengthen your own psychic abilities the more you practice, right? It's like a muscle. And I think a lot of people that have very strengthened, well-developed psychic abilities, they've said this, it's just practice. And the more you do it, the more you start receiving messages, you learn to discern what the messages are, and ultimately you trust yourself. And that's really the game. It's almost like a circle. Ultimately, this is about trusting yourself, because when you trust yourself, you're not going to negate what you receive, what you're feeling, what you're sensing. You're not going to doubt yourself. And so this is time, and I want to leave you with something that helped me in my own journey. I like affirmations, but again, that goes with cognitive reframing, because if you are ultimately like, I don't trust myself, I don't know how this is going to happen, my abilities are never going to open up, I don't want to deal with this, and then you're like, I trust myself, and you say an affirmation, it's going to be very incongruent. So that's why I talked a few videos back about cognitive reframing and really flipping the script on the messaging around your abilities and how you're feeling and what you get. Oh, that gives me another thought. I think I said this before about tapping into your beliefs. Let me write it down. Your beliefs about and surrounding psychics, psychic abilities and the such, because that's going to have a profound effect as well. It can be adverse or positive on the development of your own abilities, because if you've come from maybe a family that did not believe in this and you grew up in that way, it may take a little bit longer for you to become more open, more attuned to this level of practice, to this level of development. And it's okay, because every one of us starts on different paths, different journeys. So I just want to assure you that everyone's on their own timeline. This isn't a race. This is simply practicing your own gifts or gift or your intuition on your own time, on your own accord. So I'm gonna leave it here. I hope this series has helped. I have so many more ideas, and a lot of this I'll say comes from my own experience and my own practice, because I was someone that when I started my journey, I'm like, you know, I didn't always connect to what a lot of others in the community said about this, and I realized that, you know, we all have our own messages, our own guidance that we get, and I realized it came down to me. Ultimately, a lot of this comes down to knowing ourselves and who we are and trusting ourselves. And so there's a deeper connection there, and this goes with other forms of spiritual growth, development, and practices. So again, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I'm excited to continue doing more content. I feel like my words are going. I'm excited to continue expanding on this topic and many others. If there's anything you want to see, anything to break apart, any more clarifications, please let me know in the comments below. I'm always excited and happy to engage with you all, and I read all my comments. Otherwise, I will see you soon. Take care. If this resonated, please, I would love it if you could support me, like, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much.